The DMV produces a lot of great athletes across many sports, including basketball, football, and baseball. But one could argue the area's strongest sport is lacrosse. And no one in the DMV has enjoyed more success in lacrosse than our next inductee, Rob Bordley. Let's check out his story.
Rob Bordley is one of the winningest coaches in Montgomery County history. He was the head lacrosse coach at Landon for 42 years, winning 655 games, the fifth most victories of any lacrosse coach in the country. That includes 32 league championships and 4 undefeated seasons. Rob also excelled in rugby, playing for Washington RFC as well as the U.S. national rugby team. After earning 17 varsity letters playing at Landon, he went on to Princeton, where he excelled in lacrosse and football, earning all Ivy League honors in both. He was named the Washington Post Coach of the Year 5 times. Rob is a member of the U.S. Rugby Hall of Fame and the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Fame, and today we are proud to welcome him to the Montgomery County Sports Hall of Fame.
How you feeling, Rob?
A little nervous. Bruce didn't mention that he was my roommate in college, and I think eating cicadas may have been something I taught him one night long ago. He'll have to confirm that for us.
Oh my God, wow. I don't even know where to go from there. So let's leave the cicadas aside for a moment. You were a legendary lacrosse coach. We have a lot of legends here tonight. You played rugby, you played football, you played a lot of sports, and you were great. 17 letters, again, these numbers that we're seeing today are kind of astonishing. So let me ask you first, what was your best sport? I know you were good at a lot of them.
I don't know, maybe rugby.
Maybe rugby, okay.
Maybe rugby. Certainly wasn't lacrosse.
Okay, and which one did you enjoy the most?
Probably rugby.
Okay. And how did it turn out that you, so you think a very good lacrosse player. How did the coaching start?
The coaching started, I applied for a job at Landon, and I was looking for summer day camp employment. I thought teaching would be like working at the summer day camp. You'd wear shorts, have lots of fun. Little did I know you had to read a lot more than I had even read in college, grade a lot of papers, and work a lot harder than I'd worked in college. But I must have liked it because I've stayed there for a long time.
42 years, so not really a temporary job. So 42.
No, I'm still there. I'm not teaching, but I am coaching. I'm working in the alumni office and helping out with alumni events. So I don't know how many years that is, 1970 to whatever we are now.
50, more math. 52 years?
Sounds right.
Wow. Okay, so what would you say your favorite part of coaching is?
Just the relationship with the kids. Having fun on the field. I'm coaching now 5th grade soccer, did 3rd and 4th grade basketball last year. That was a bit challenging. Probably the only time I've been the same height as the players I was playing with. I moved up to 5th, and I'm no longer the tallest guy on the court. So I have a lot of fun with the basketball, and then I'll do lacrosse this spring with the 5th-year-old kids.
So what do you attribute your success in coaching, the longevity, but also the success?
Just, I would hope, enthusiasm. Always prepared hard, but I've been very blessed. I've never stopped a goal. I've never scored a goal. I've never done anything on the field myself, but I've had some very, very good players, and I've had some even better coaches over the years. And between all of us, we've had some success.
What's the most gratifying part of coaching, would you say?
It's the relationships. I spend much of my day these days calling former players and students of mine to thank them for gifts they make to the school, and we'll often talk for a half hour. We're not talking about games as much as we're talking about the bus trips and some of the shenanigans that take place during the course of the season.
What does it mean to get into the Montgomery County Sports Hall of Fame to you?
Well, I'm thrilled, but at the same time, I'm a bit embarrassed, just as I said. My getting into the Sports Hall of Fame is really a tribute to my school, all the players and coaches that I've worked with over the years.
Did you have conversations with some of the other Hall of Famers today, and kind of what does one Hall of Famer talk to with another Hall of Famer?
Just reminiscing a little bit about, I'm a little older than most of them, but I was telling Steve Francis, my son went to Maryland. Was a local Bethesda boy, so I grew up on Maryland football and Maryland basketball, and remember when he was playing. A kid named Hetzel was one of my classmates at Landon, so he was one of the first guys Lefty Drizel recruited. I remember going out and watching him play a lot of games out there at Cold Field House.
Is there a story? I'm sure there was 100 stories, but so when you heard you're going in the Hall of Fame, did anything kind of pop into your head? Any specific memory or anything that you want to share?
Probably the stories that pop in my head I shouldn't share.
Okay. How about one that you can share?
I'm not sure I can think of a specific one.
Okay.
You were asking other people about, their greatest memory of a game and so forth.
Okay.
Mine would be a high school game against Georgetown Prep where they were undefeated. We weren't. But we certainly weren't expected to beat them. I think they were second or third in the city, and we upset them. And I had a decent game, and my house was toilet papered by them, which I saw as a badge of honor to the next morning see all this toilet paper. So that was one of my fondest memories locally.
That's what I was looking for. Toilet papered the house. That's the thing that I was thinking about. So, but when you heard that you were going to the Hall of Fame, and you kind of answered the question, I mean, putting modesty aside, your success in playing all these sports and coaching them, what do you think what is that attributed to besides the good players and all the people surrounding you? What do you think?
Well, I think my drive, I've suffered from little man's disease for a long, long time. So I've always tried to prove to those who told me I couldn't do something. And I wasn't the smartest player in the world, but I learned that if you worked hard, if you were a good teammate, you could have an awful lot of success. So most of my teams, I would argue, may be better. The whole is a little bit better than some of the individual parts. That's not to say I've had some great players, which I have. And I listen to assistant coaches. I'm not a micromanager. And you have a great player who's played at UVA, who's played at a national championship, and then he joins your staff. If you don't listen to him, something's wrong with you. So I've had a lot of great players. A number of them have won national championships. And I love to get them to come back and give me a season or two, and I give them a voice and try to empower them.
That's great. Rob, congratulations.